This is Damna from Elvenking, and you're watching That Metal Interview.
That Metal Interview.
Thank you for making time, first of all.
Thank you.
How was that? You guys just did the Isola Rock gig. How did that go?
Oh, that it's scheduled for May. Actually, it's a festival that we will play in May here in Italy. Yeah, but we just come home from the Pagan Fest tour in Europe. That's the last thing that we've done live-wise, and it's been 5 weeks on the road through Europe, so it's been pretty long, but very good tour with Hailstorm, Ensiferum, Heiterfolk, and Tier. Yeah, it's been very, very good.
Wow, very cool. So, how do you maintain on the road? What's your secret to keeping your voice up to par, I guess?
Well, it's a combination of things, actually. The first thing is, of course, trying to stay in shape, not getting any flu or, staying in shape in that regard. But of course, it's a lot about how you behave. I personally, I try not to talk too much during the day, and the usual things like drink a lot of water, and every night like having a tea with ginger and like fresh ginger and lemon and all these things that help, like keep the shape with the voice. It's not always working, because if you catch the flu or if you feel particularly under the weather, it's not that easy to always have the voice in full shape. But it's with the last tour here, 5 weeks, I've been a bit struggling, like a couple of shows, because we all caught a flu, so that was hard. But it's been pretty smooth apart from that.
So you guys caught the flu on the road?
Yes, we all did.
Wow.
It was like touring in January and February is like the worst time probably because of that. So yeah, there were some really cold places, and you just go in and out the venue, and it's easy to to catch a flu, and then all sleeping in the bus. It's the same old story,
Do you carry your own microphone, or do you just sing in whatever mic they give you there at the festivals, or?
No, I have my own.
Get your own? Yeah, because I guess you can get sick when you share mics, right?
Like a festival.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right?
Anything can help build a disaster when it's about germs and falling ill.
Let's start with the name. The first time I saw the name of your band, I thought it said Elvenking, but that's not it. It's Elvenking. So what's behind the name, and whose idea was that?
Well, that name was when we first started the band, it was 1997, and when I joined, because the band was founded by the two guitar players, Aiden and Job, and I joined in 1998 when they were searching finally for a singer, and I showed up, and they were still discussing about the name, and I remember that they were, they threw some names on the table, but in the end, Elvenking was the one that we all were choosing. Basically, it is taken from The Hobbit, the book from Tolkien, and what really got the two guys was this illustration by Tolkien himself of the gate of the the Elvenking realm that is portrayed on in the book, and there was written like the Elvenking gate, and that word really just struck Aiden and Jarpen, and we all chose that. So basically that's the birth of the name. We were all like fantasy and sword and sorcery book readers, and we were fans of that. I mean, it was still in the 90s. We were really fond of that stuff, and still are, and we are still digging that kind of thing here and there. So that's how we chose the name Elvenking.
Okay, cool. Of course, The Hobbit. Yeah. A lot of fans out there. A lot of it's a big movie and the whole franchise, right? So very cool. Wow, I didn't know that. You got that from the movie. Very cool.
It was from the book. The movies weren't even in the mind of Peter Jackson at that time, because they came out in the late 2000s. The Hobbit.
Yep.
So
That's right.
That was still in the 90s. Yeah.
That's right, 2000s. How about the painted symbols on your faces? Damna, what's behind that? Is there a symbol, a meaning to each symbol? And who chose the painting?
Well, the first thing that I have to say is that we decided to start using corpse paint because we felt the necessity to expand our music also with with how we appear on stage and in the photos and so on. Like the artwork, like the covers, all has to be a part of the music, like an extension of our music. So that is why we started doing that. Basically, we did that. We kind of attempted that in the very first album. So if you look closely at the photos, it doesn't seem like we have some paintings on our faces, but we did. So it was like a first attempt. But then we didn't use that for a lot of years, but eventually we came back to that idea, and that's why it all started. The symbols are runes, and we started using runes, especially now that since 2018-19 we started this concept trilogy with the Reader of the Runes concept, and we incorporated also the runes also in our corpse paint, because of course, as I said, it's like an extension of our music, and in this time frame we're telling this story through the course of 3 albums, so it's very important story for us, and so we did expanded that also with our corpse paints.
So at what point in your life, Damna, did you find out you had a voice? Were you an adult, or were you a kid?
Well, to tell you the truth, I started when I was a kid. I started by playing guitar, and that was what I wanted to do when I was really a kid, and I started taking acoustic guitar, classical guitar lessons with my brother at the time, and but then all the metal bands came, and I started having this passion for electric guitar. So that's my first thing in music and being a musician. So before being a singer, I'm a guitar player.
Okay.
And when I was 15, I joined a band of we were schoolmates, and we were playing cover songs of Metallica, Maiden, Megadeth, Manowar, all of these bands, and I was there for being a guitarist and all, but we couldn't be able to find a singer. We didn't, as much as we searched for it, we didn't find it. So I said, okay, I will try. When I was a kid, I used to sing on Guns N' Roses songs at home and all this. So let's try, and that is how I started, basically, trying and being passionate about it, and eventually I joined Elvenking, and with time I started like growing a conscience about my voice and my singing. When I was, when I first started, I really didn't know what I was doing. Even in the studio, I was just trying and trying, and by trial and error, I eventually got it. But it's with the years that I, grew a voice and a way of singing that, has more conscience about what I'm doing.
I've read some stories about Ronnie James Dio. He would never warm up before a gig or in the studio. He would just, it said that he drank one beer and that was his warm up. Nobody ever saw him doing those vocal exercises, backstage. Are you like that, or are you one to, do you rehearse before recording an album or live?
Well, Dio was out of this world, so I'm definitely not like him. not by any chance. Well, yes, as long as I don't like doing it, I do have to warm up a little bit. I found my way of doing it. I hate doing exercises. I really hate that stuff. But if you don't do something, you just go on stage and you just fuck it after a couple of songs, tops. So I have to, and I don't drink alcoholics anymore before a show. No alcohol, because it really it helps me not doing it right. So just as I said, some hot water with fresh ginger and some warm-ups with still with hot water and with the breathing, and that helps me a lot in just having a right situation for singing, for my singing.
Well, whatever you're doing sounds great. I mean, it's on the record, so you can hear that. A great voice. Yeah. So let's go to the new album. It's dropping April 11th. The third installment of these Reader of the Runes, right? This is Luna. So is this the last installment of these similar titles and the storylines and all that?
Yes, this is the last. This is the very last. I mean, we've been doing this since 2018. We started, me and Aiden, we started with the idea of finally doing a concept album. We've been wanting to do that since forever, and we're big fans of King Diamond and all those great albums where there is a story that goes with the music, and you have these great things going on and great moments and epic things, and we've always been fans of that in metal. So but we never had the right idea, really. We discussed this a lot of times, but we never had the idea that you just say, let's do it, this is it. But eventually we were on a flight to South America, so it was a very long flight. And usually when we travel, we discuss a lot about these things. And we were about to, write a new album at the time. And we just said to ourselves, so what about a concept album? Should we try and make it this time? And we had this idea, and we completed, one was throwing an idea, the other one was completing it. And we had all that long flight, building up this story, and we eventually saw that we couldn't fit the song into one album. It would have been too much. So we said to ourselves, let's do it in more than one album. And then by developing it, we ended up doing 3 albums. But yes, this is definitely the last one. Here the story ends, everything is revealed, and we have a complete conclusion. And as we are a bit, it's like a bittersweet feeling now that we are saying goodbye to these characters, because we've been living with them for 6 years. But we can't wait to finally start writing a new album with a bit more freedom, because of course with the story we had to really be careful about the music. The music should, should have it had to have the right tone, the right mood, the right feelings for the lyrics, for the moments of the story we were telling. So it's been really really hard, and a very cool journey, but it had to end finally.
Yeah, everything has an end, as they say. Will we see another trilogy kind of thing, story deal again, or is this the last one?
Well, for now, yeah. For now, we're done with it, and we need to, as I said, live the songwriting in total freedom, and it's really exciting because it feels like we'll be doing something new, something we haven't been, we haven't done for about 6 or 7 years. So that will be the driving force for the next album, definitely. But I don't know, in the future we'll see if we'll ever come up with more concept albums. I don't know, but not for the moment.
Back in the day, a while back, maybe 20 years ago, it was different with album releases. The album was released along with a video and a single, etc. Nowadays, it's labels release a couple of singles and videos before the people even see the album, right? How do you feel about that? Maybe we should go back to the old school days, or how do you feel about this?
Yeah, I would really like to go back to the old days. I mean, I really don't like this, and I'm talking about this as a fan, as a listener of music. I mean, I listen to tons of music, also new stuff, but I really I'm really annoyed by this thing that record companies have to release like 4 or 5 singles before the album is released, and when the album is released, it's like you have like, I don't know, 4 or 5 songs left, and you already know the rest of the album, and surprise is really dying that way. I don't know. I really don't like it that way too much, but I know it's how things go nowadays, and as a member of Elvenking, I accept that. I know that it's the way things have to be done nowadays. But yeah, I would really like to go back, and when there was one video, one single, and then the album came, and the rest was all a discovery, and you had all these songs to go through, and also with the digital services, it's so easy now to just go through an album, and you hear the first riff. No, I don't like it. Let's get to the next. No, I don't like it. Let's get to the next, and it's all fucked up.
Yeah.
Once you bought an album because there was no other way to listen to it apart from maybe being at the record store and put so there were some record stores you went there with the headphones and just listened to some of the album, but you had to buy it, and you got on with that album, and you listened to it a million times, even if you didn't like it that much, but you had to like it because you bought it. That feeling is gone, and it's a pity, but yeah. I mean,
That's the old school. Yeah, Lars Ulrich saw that coming. I don't know if you recall that. Lars Ulrich, he stood up for the business for when all these people were stealing the songs. Do you recall that?
yeah, I do. The Napster thing. Yeah, that was the first. Yeah, the really first moment when music was starting to, I wouldn't say die, but the old ways died, and yeah, I don't want to sound too nostalgic, but the way music was, how it was lived, and by our, by us, by the fans, by the listeners, was that what made it really interesting, what made it like something to dream of, something that made you live an hour or so in complete detachment from reality, which is something that music is always helping me doing, but yeah, it's a bit different today.
You mentioned you're a guitar player first before a vocalist, right? Did you do you pitch in guitar riffs in Elvenking, or are you just strictly a vocalist?
Yeah. I basically write songs, and as Aiden, the guitarist, does, we write all the songs, me and him, and yeah, I mean, I just write riffs and record them and do the pre-production. So yeah, as I said before, being even a singer, I'm a guitar player. So yeah, I love writing songs. I love playing the guitar, and yeah.
When you say writing songs, does that mean lyrics and riffs, or does everybody pitch in lyrics, or is just are you the main lyricist?
Both things. Me and Aiden write both riffs and lyrics. We both do both things. Yeah, that is the cool thing. That yeah, it's a good question, because sometimes when people sees, you know, a song written by, and maybe it's just the lyrics, but no, it's both things for us both.
How about the genre of Elvenking? I've seen it labeled as folk metal. I've seen it labeled as power metal. What's your take here? Which one is it?
It's always so difficult to put a label on something, especially on something like the music that we do, that has such wide boundaries when it comes to our soundscape. So I'm always embarrassed when they ask me, what kind of music do you play? And at a certain point, we just started calling it pagan metal. But we know that this may arouse some confusion, because what we usually all know with the term, by the term pagan metal, is that kind of like Viking, more extreme folk metal usually. But our way of calling ourselves pagan metal is because of our themes, of our lyrics, and the way how our music sometimes really gets to that kind of feeling, to that kind of shade in metal. But it's a mixture. It's a mixture of melodic metal. We have folk influences. We have power metal influences. We have influences also from death metal and black metal. So it's really difficult to say, to really label our music. Folk, melodic folk, pagan metal, something like that. Very long description.
It sounds great, so I guess let's not label it.
Yeah, that's I like it.
Give us an update on Hell in the Club. Is that in the past, or is that still active?
Yeah, it's basically in my past now. Um, I had to stop because of all my commitments, all the things that I do, especially with Elvenking, and I had to give it a break, and the band decided to go on, and I helped them with the transition. I'm really happy for their new singer. She's amazing. She's an incredible singer, and but now, yeah, the time has come to let them go for real, and I'm happy to see them. I'm friends with them. You know, they're big friends of mine, so I'm happy to see that they're enjoying this. They're now recording the new album, and I really can't wait to see what they will do. I helped them writing a couple of songs, but yeah, probably this will be it for the moment with Hell in the Club.
Before we let you go, Damna, what's on your agenda here? When can we expect you in the U.S.? And what's on your agenda here? What's next for you?
Well, actually, we'll be doing some summer festivals in Europe now, from April to August, basically. And we'll be working on a special little project. We'll be talking about this soon. It's not going to be a new album, of course, because we are just releasing now the new one, but it's going to be something in between. So we will soon talk about this. And, we just signed with an American booking agency. So probably next year, we'll be doing something in North America again. It's been a blast. The tour we made last year in North America with Hailstorm, it's really been great, and yeah, we can't wait to come back.
Awesome. So thank you for your time, Elvin. I'm sorry, Damna. I appreciate that. Appreciate your time and great new music as always. The whole trilogy is badass stuff. So keep it up, and we'll see you sometime in Texas in the U.S. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the interview, man. Thank you.
An experience of power melodic metal for you guys and girls that like that stuff, like me. And we thank Damna of Elvenking for being a part of the podcast and presenting us with their newest release, Reader of the Runes, Luna, the third and final installment of this trilogy, right? Available now, 10 awesome tracks, dropped April 11th of 2025. And thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, ringing the bell, and thank you for supporting us, downloading the episodes, sharing, blah blah blah. Don't forget to keep it metal.
That metal interview.